So you're thinking about moving to the greater Lansing area, and you've been doing some research on some of the best suburbs in the area, and all you keep seeing is Okemos, 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 which is how you pronounce that city name, by the way. And you keep thinking to yourself, what's so special about this place? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the history of Okemos, how it came to be, also share with you some of the pros and cons of living in the Okemos area, and if you stay tuned until the end, the last con that I have is one that I hope that the city of Okemos and Meridian Township definitely pays attention to. And we're about to start this episode right now. Hey everybody. Welcome to this latest episode of Lansing, Michigan Life. I'm Troy Seifert with the Capital Area Real Estate Specialist in the greater Lansing area. And we get phone calls from people all the time looking to move to Okemos, looking to move to East Lansing, DeWitt, Lansing area. We get phone calls all the time from people looking to potentially buy or sell in the area. So if you're looking to do that and you're looking to buy in 3 days, 9 days, 9 months, whatever time frame that would be, we would love to be able to help you out. So please check out the information below, see all of our contact information. We would love to be able to help you out in all of your real estate needs. And also please subscribe to our channel. So like, comment, ask any questions that you would like. Also subscribe, hit the notification bell, just so that you are going to be fully aware of when the next video of Lansing, Michigan Life comes next, which we are posting videos weekly. Okemos, Michigan, a city of about 25,000 people and a very popular suburb in the city of Lansing. A lot of people might consider it even a suburb of East Lansing, Michigan, where Michigan State University is, because they're so close to each other. But really it's a suburb of the Lansing, Michigan area. And recently, niche.com, that's gonna be a website I'm gonna refer to a lot in our episodes that we have and in our videos. Niche.com, Niche.com. It's a site that talks a lot about grades for certain areas. So Niche.com did a survey at the end of 2023, and they stated that Okemos, Michigan was the #1 city to live in Michigan, which is a huge deal. So they did news stories throughout the Lansing area. #1, and that was according to school grade, according to housing affordability, according to economic status. So in niche.com, Okemos is ranked #1. The city of Okemos has a lot of history to it, because a lot of people are like, why is it called Okemos? Why is it called Okemos, Michigan? So the history has a very deep Native American heritage. And in the 1800s, there were many Native American tribes that existed throughout central Michigan. And the Native American tribes held on to about 6 million acres in the southern part of Michigan. So there was a chief of the Chippewa tribe named Chief Okemos, is what he was known as. He was the chief of the Chippewa people in the area that is now known as Okemos. And throughout the wars that happened in 1819, there was a treaty that was signed called the Treaty of Saginaw, where many Native American tribe leaders were there to be able to sign off on it, and they gave those 6 million acres to the United States and gave it to the state, and so now that southern part was a part of the United States. And in 1857 or 1858, it kind of depends on where you research, but Chief Okemos had passed away, and the state government of Michigan in 1859 stated that they were going to call the area that was before known as Hamilton, Michigan, they were going to call it Okemos, Michigan, named after Chief Okemos. So if you've done a lot of research on websites, on Zillow, on Realtor.com, on Homes.com, and you've been looking at street names in Okemos, you've noticed Comanche, you've noticed Kinawa, you noticed a school named Hiawatha. You notice all of these Native American names. And so as time has gone on, Okemos has continued with that Native American heritage that's there right now. So they have continued with it, and that's the reason why Okemos is where they are at today. So a nice little tidbit for you. But I do want to get into the pros and cons of living in Okemos. just because it is a popular area, and I want to feature some of the ups and downs of living here. So the first pro that I want to talk about, and it's the most popular one because if you research this is across the board what you're going to see the most of are the schools. So number one pro of living in Okemos are the schools. And Okemos, again, it's a city of 25,000 people. There are 4,500 students in the school system. Now that includes 3 elementary schools that are kindergarten through 4th grade. Then there's one 5th through 6th grade building, one 7th and 8th grade building, and then a high school. But also included in that is a Montessori school. That's also included in the Okemos public school systems, and I have some clients and friends that take their kids to those Montessori schools. The one thing that you need to realize about Okemos schools is that they are in the Michigan-wide program of school of choice. And so when people move to the area and they don't know what school of choice is, they think, oh, I could live in DeWitt, or I could live in Hazlitt, or I could live in East Lansing, and I could still go to Okemos schools because it's school of choice, right? And I would tell you as a realtor in the area, that is wrong. Because Okemos is the hardest school, in my opinion, it's the hardest school to be able to get into in regards to school of choice. In order to go to Okemos schools, you're going to have to rent or own a place in Okemos schools. No ifs, ands, or buts. There are some exceptions that happen with that, but you can't bank on that. So the schools are top notch, and on niche.com it's an A+ rating, and a lot of that has to do with, they have many international programs for international students, great quality teachers. They really focus a lot with the parents on having the parents be involved. And so a lot of clients that I talk to, they say that they love Okemos schools because they feel like they're a part of a family. And you can definitely feel that when you're at the Okemos schools. So number one pro are the schools. I think that probably lots of you who've been researching would think that that would be number one. So number two would be the upscale shopping that I find in the Okemos area. So in Okemos, and it's also kind of like the East Lansing line, and I've done a video on this of touring Okemos neighborhoods, and I started at Trader Joe's, but in Okemos East Lansing area, Trader Joe's is there, Whole Foods is there. They have the Meridian Mall over there, which is the best indoor mall in the area, and they have Macy's there, which Macy's I feel is an upscale department store. They have a Schuler's bookstore, which is a local bookshop that has a cafe. So don't get me wrong, like the Meridian Mall, it's not like every single store is filled there, but they do have Macy's, they do have JCPenney, they have anchor stores, they have high caliber carding within that mall, they have Planet Fitness, they have H&M, they have lots of stores within that storefront. So comparing it to the Lansing Mall, which is on the west side of town, Lansing Mall has a lot of vacancies there. So, I mean, on that eastern part of town, it's very telling when places like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods are looking for places to be able to set up their shop, that they're looking into areas that probably have a higher income clientele. So Okemos definitely has the upscale shopping. And so that takes me to number three reason, the number three pro, and that would be the diversity of the area. And when I'm talking about diversity, I'm talking about diversity of the suburbs of Lansing, because the city of Lansing has the greatest amount of diversity. But when you're looking at the suburbs, Lansing definitely has, the Lansing proper, the downtown area, has the greatest amount, but then East Lansing and Okemos, as far as the suburbs of Lansing, have the greatest amount of diversity. And so in Okemos area, the latest census that was taken was that 76.5% of the people in Okemos are white, and then everybody else is part of a different nationality, different race. So that shows you that about 25%, a quarter of the people are going to be a different race, different nationality. Same rings true for East Lansing, but I have friends that go to Okemos schools, and they definitely do say that there is a great amount of diversity for a suburban area. So the number four pro is that Okemos is the hottest housing market in the greater Lansing area. And if you're looking to move here, and you might have a 3 to 5 year plan where you might move to another place. If you're looking for an area where you feel like you're gonna have the greatest return of investment on your house when you're looking to sell, then Okemos is the place to be at, because when we look at appreciation year over year in our area, Okemos is #1 as far as home values going up. So if you are on a short-term plan, you don't know how long you're gonna be here, Okemos would be the place you definitely wanna look at because it is the most popular housing market in the area. The amount of demand for people looking and such a shortage of inventory has helped the prices just drive up. So definitely look at Okemos if you're wanting a great return of investment on your house. And then that brings me to #5 for the pros, and that is a nature lover's paradise. And why am I saying that? Well, I'm saying that because Okemos is home to the Meridian Riverfront Park. And the Meridian Riverfront Park is comprised of 3 smaller parks made up of over 200 acres. It's located on the south side of Okemos, and they all kind of run together. One of them crosses over another road called Van Atta, then goes up to the Meridian Road. So you have over 200 acres, and there's trails. There's an area that you can observe animals called the Harris Nature Preserve. Harris Nature Center, they have Leg Park where you start, and then East Gates, not East Skate, like you're skating on something, but East Gate Park. And having over 200 acres, I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful place that if you're just wanting to enjoy a beautiful day, that is the place to be at, and people rave about it. That it's just such a nature lover's paradise over there. So if you love nature, there's no other place like Meridian Riverfront Park. There are plenty of parks in the greater Lansing area, but Meridian Riverfront Park, definitely a nature lover's paradise. So those are my pros, but of course I want to get into some cons, and I have only 4 cons. I have 5 pros and 4 cons. I wanted to make the cons a little bit less because honestly, Okemos has a lot of pluses, and it is a great area, and it is #1 in Michigan. So I don't want to just have an even amount to be like, hey, I want to have 5 pros and 5 cons. So I came up with 4, but I feel like all 4 of them are definitely valid, and I wasn't trying to stretch them at all. So #1 for cons is the cost of housing in Okemos. Now I know I just stated in the pros, it's the hottest real estate market, right? And you're gonna get the greatest return of investment by living in Okemos. But the important thing is you have to have the cash and you have to be able to afford it. That's the important part. So in the greater Lansing area, Okemos has the highest average per home. So right now that's at $466,000. So to live in Okemos, $466,000. But the $466,000 will probably get you about a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,300 square feet. Again, I'm just generalizing, but I honestly feel like that's what that would get you. It would probably get you a house built in the 90s or 2000s even. But it's not gonna get you a brand new construction. It's not gonna probably get you a home that's built in 2010. It's not gonna get you a 3,500 above grade square foot home. That's not gonna happen. So if you're looking for that, you're looking 600,000, 700,000 plus. And you know, it's just one of those things where if you can afford to be in it, it's great. Most popular school system, everyone wants to be there, but with your pocketbook, it's not gonna be your best friend, okay? So the cost of housing, #1 con. #2 con are the taxes in the area. And the taxes, I mean the property taxes. So I think I said earlier, $466,000 is the average in Okemos for a house. So if I were to take that $466,000 and see how much would the taxes be on a house like this, the property taxes would be around $1,000 a month. So you're looking at $12,000 a year in taxes just by living in Okemos at the average price point. So if you have a $600,000 house, a $700,000 house, you're looking at another, 30% higher. So, $15,000, $16,000 a year. There is a neighborhood in Okemos called College Fields, and it's Okemos schools. It's an Okemos address, but the taxes are Lansing City. And so I'll get into Lansing City taxes at a later time, but I did want to point this out because some of you on this video might be looking at homes on Carnesty. That's a very popular street in College Fields, okay? So College Fields is its own animal as far as taxes, because I gave you the Meridian Township taxes average of about $1,000 a month, but if you were to take that same house in College Fields, it would seriously be about another $2,000 more than the average sale price I just quoted you. So instead of $12,000, you'd be looking at $14,000 in College Fields. I saw a $600,000 house listed with $19,000 in taxes. Plus, here's the other thing that people do not realize. So if you start doing your search filter in College Fields, like, please take this tip to heart. And only a realtor can tell you this. So hopefully you will understand this. And I'm not trying to talk you out of College Fields, because they have nice homes. You can overlook a golf course. So I in no way want to like steer you away, but I want you to be informed. I don't want there to be any surprises. That's why I do this. So the other thing you have to be informed about in College Fields is that they also make you pay the City of Lansing income tax that every resident of City of Lansing has to pay. So you have the higher taxes because you're a part of City of Lansing and it has a higher millage. Plus, in your income taxes, you had to pay 1% of your salary because of living in the City of Lansing. So a lot of times, people might live there 2, 3, 4 years and they put their house back on the market because they don't like the taxes. That's the biggest complaint I get for College Fields neighborhood. And I know that's a little bit of an aside, but I feel like it's an important thing for you to realize, because if you're looking for a newer home build, that's where a lot of, that's where some of the newer home builds are, is in that neighborhood. And I just want you to be fully aware as you're starting your home search there. So number 2, the taxes. Number 3 con has to do with the lack of growth that I see in that area. So I think I said Okemos has a mall. It has some restaurants. They do continue to build some retail stuff, but I do see Okemos only being able to get so large, and then all of a sudden they're going to plateau because there's going to be no more room to build. In another video I did for Okemos neighborhoods, there is a neighborhood that has some lots there, not a ton of lots to build in the sanctuary. There's another neighborhood that is also being built in Okemos schools as well. And so they found some lots there, but really, like, Okemos has a lot of wetlands. And so because of that, it's difficult land to be able to build on. So the lack of growth, as time goes on, only so many people are going to be able to live in that area. And then what will happen to the homes as time goes on? What will happen to the ages of things? Will Okemos still in 20, 30, 40 years, will it be a booming place like it is now? I don't know. I don't know what the future is, but I do see that a lack of growth and a lack of home building can sometimes not help the economy of the area. So that's something to watch, but it's something to be aware of, that you're not going to be able to find neighborhoods with all these brand new homes, because the huge boom of that, there was a huge population growth in 2020 with it being 25,000 people. And then back in like 2010, I believe, there were far less people in Okemos, but because they built all these homes during the downturn, all these people moved there. And so now the schools are maxed out over there. So just as a heads up there, the lack of growth is definitely, I feel like, a valid con. Number 4 con, and this is the one I kind of told you, hey, stick around until the end, because I hope that Okemos City hears this, in Meridian Township especially, has to do with there's no downtown in Okemos. And I work all the suburbs in the greater Lansing area. So DeWitt is one of them. DeWitt is a lot less as far as like population. It has about 15,000 people in DeWitt, okay? They have a downtown. Diamonddale, which is even far less populated than even DeWitt and Okemos, has a small downtown, but they at least have a downtown. They have an ice cream shop there. They have, a nice little diner that's there. Mason has an awesome downtown. Grand Ledge, Williamston, East Lansing, of course, you saw me feature it. It has an amazing downtown. Obviously, Lansing City has a great downtown. St. John's, Michigan has an awesome downtown. So I listed all these suburbs, and with Okemos being the size that it is, there's no true downtown. There's a street corner that has some shops, but really it's a sad little place. So the one thing I will say is that there are plans to develop a downtown area, and they've talked about it, but there's nothing in place as far as start date, when this is going to happen, and when the end date's going to be. So if enough people in Okemos speak up, maybe they'll be able to push for it, because when I think about all the taxes that people are paying, I'm like, where's all the tax money going? There's all these people that are paying taxes. Where's it all going? And so I would hope that there would be a downtown in the very near future, but as of right now, Okemos doesn't have a downtown, so there's not a lot of local places you can go to. They do have a farmer's market that's just north of where the Meridian Mall is off of Marsh Road. So there is a farmer's market that's there, but it's not the same thing. Like, you know, you just, being able to have a downtown just helps with the vibe of the city. So that's my fourth con, that's my last one there, and I'm sticking to it. So you can agree or disagree, you can comment below and give me your commentary, you can think I'm crazy. You know, just let me know in the comments. So that's the end of this episode. I, again, appreciate you for coming here to the Lansing, Michigan Life channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for any notifications for any future episodes, because we'll have some more next week. Also, if you want to contact me or my team, please contact me at the information below. My phone number's there. You can email me. You can also schedule a Zoom. You can text me, whatever you would like to do. We would love to be able to talk with you. So until next time, make it a great day, and thanks for tuning in.